Hello everyone and welcome to Talking Class with Rolandish. I'm Matt, and in this video we're going to take a look at the subclasses offered by the 5.5e or the 2024 version of the Player's Handbook. Now, you get to pick a subclass for the Barbarian at level 3. If you haven't done so already, be sure you check out our Talking Class with Rolandish playlist. There you're going to find a breakdown of everything Barbarians get levels 1 through 20. And so if you want to check out what is involved in playing a Barbarian, be sure to see that video and follow up here when you're ready to choose your subclass. In your Player's Handbook, there are going to be 4 options: the Berserker, the Wild Heart, the World Tree, and the Zealot. For the Berserker, this is fury and violence. If you want to play a quick-tempered, tough, and battle-ready Barbarian, Berserker's for you. When you choose this subclass at 3rd level, you start off strong with a feature called Frenzy. Now, Frenzy is going to allow you to deal extra damage on your first target you hit on your turn. Now, first target at level 3, you're only going to have one target because you only have one attack. But at 5th level, remember, you get extra attack, so you might have more than one target. You might kill something on your first and be ready to go attack something new on your second. The key here is when your rage is active, you're going to deal that extra damage to the first target you hit. To determine how much extra damage, you're going to roll a number of d6s equal to your rage damage bonus, which at level 3 is 2, so 2d6s. The damage type is going to be the same that of the weapon that you used, or bludgeoning for your unarmed strike. At level 6, you get something called Mindless Rage. While your rage is active, you are laser focused, so it's really hard for something to penetrate and manipulate your mind. You can't be charmed or frightened. Now, if you are charmed or frightened before you enter your rage, entering your rage will end these effects. It's pretty sweet. At level 10, you get a feature called Retaliation. When you take damage from a creature within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to make one melee attack against that creature using a weapon or an unarmed strike. What's an unarmed strike? Anything using your body, not a weapon. So a kick, a punch, an elbow, a knee, a headbutt, something along those lines. At level 14, you get a feature called Intimidating Presence. As a bonus action, you can strike fear into your enemies by emitting a 30-foot emanation coming from you of your primal power. Your targets in that 30-foot emanation, they need to make a wisdom saving throw, or they're going to be afraid of you with the frightened condition for 1 minute. Now, you're not a spellcaster, so even though your targets in that emanation need to make a wisdom saving throw, you don't have a spell save DC, the number they need to meet or beat in order to succeed. So to determine this number, you're going to use a base of 8 plus your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus. Those things added together are what your targets will need to meet or beat to resist this. Otherwise, they're going to be afraid. Once this takes effect, when it gets to their turn, at the end of their turn, they can repeat the saving throw to see if they end it early. And they do this on each turn. And if they keep failing, it will last that full minute. Gotta love that. The other thing about this is once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend one of your rages to do this instead. So that's a nice feature, a nice trade-off. Okay, let's take a look at the Wild Heart, because the Wild Heart is somebody that is going to commune with animals. This connection is going to be heightened by your rage. So in a sense that rangers typically are the ones that interact the most with animals, or perhaps druids, this is a way for the Barbarian to connect in that way. At level 3, you get Animal Speaker. This is going to allow you to cast Beast Sense and speak with animals as rituals. Your spellcasting modifier for this is going to be your Wisdom score. So while we talked about in our What Do All Barbarians Get video, we know that the suggested focus would be on Strength and Constitution as your primary ability modifiers. So maybe you make your 3rd highest one if you're rolling or using Standard Array as your Wisdom if you're going to choose this subclass. Also at 3rd level, you get something called the Rage of the Wilds. Whenever you activate your Rage, you're going to get one of the following features go into effect. If you choose Bear, you're going to get resistance to all damage types except Force, Necrotic, Psychic, and Radiant. in addition to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing that all barbarians get resistant to when they rage, you'll get resistance to all that elemental damage, the acid, the cold, the fire, the lightning, and the thunder. If you choose Eagle, you can take disengage and dash actions as part of the bonus action you used to enter your rage. This is a great escape plan. If you get into trouble and you need to run for it or flee a situation or just reposition yourself on the battlefield, use your bonus action to enter your rage. You can disengage, you can get away without causing an opportunity attack, and you can get away far because you can use your dash action. All of that is summed up into your bonus action, leaving your actions available. If you choose Wolf, when your rage is active, your allies will gain advantage on attack rolls against any enemy within 5 feet of you. It says attack rolls, not melee attack rolls. So if you've got somebody at distance, maybe a spellcaster or a ranger, and they're using a bow, if they fire at an enemy within 5 feet of you while you have Eagle active, they're going to get advantage on that attack roll. It's a good way to help someone help you. At level 6, you get Aspect of the Wilds. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can change one of these options, but in addition to the bear, eagle, or wolf, you've got 3 new ones, okay? You have owl. You get a dark vision up to a range of 60 feet. If you already have dark vision, this is going to extend your range by 60 feet. If you choose panther, you'll gain a climb speed equal to your speed. If you choose salmon, you'll get a swim speed equal to your speed. At level 10, you get nature speaker. This is going to allow you to cast commune with nature, kind of like you did beast sense and speak with animals, using your wisdom modifier as your spellcasting modifier here. At level 14, you get Power of the Wilds. When you activate your rage, you gain one of the following options. Falcon. When your rage is active, you gain a fly speed equal to your speed. If you choose Lion, any of your enemies within 5 feet of you have disadvantage on attack rolls on targets other than you or another barbarian who has this option active, because they would cancel out. If you choose Ram, you can cause a large or smaller creature to go prone when you hit them with a melee attack. Now, I would like to do this on my first attack because this happens at level 14, so you have multi-attack at this point. I would love to use Ram on my first attack, knock them prone, and then my second attack would get advantage because they're prone. That's a good way to do that. All right, let's take a look at the Path of the World tree. This one's my favorite of the 4 options. It does require a little bit more from you. It might require a little bit of role play on your part, and it should likely require something in your backstory related to the cosmic tree Yggdrasil. That's how you pronounce that, Yggdrasil. It is a cosmic tree that resides in the outer planes that connects the outer planes to the material plane via cosmic energy. What does that mean? You're about to find out. At level 3, you gain the Vitality of the Tree feature. You gain the following benefits from it. Vitality Surge. When you activate your rage, you're going to gain temp HP equal to your barbarian level. So at level 3, you get 3 temp HP when you rage. Love it. Nice little shield there. And of course it grows as you do. You also get a feature called Life-Giving Force. At the start of each of your turns, while your rage is active, you're going to choose another creature within 10 feet of you to gain temporary hit points. To determine how many, you're going to roll d6s in the amount equal to your rage damage bonus and add them together. So at level 3, your rage damage bonus is a +2. So you'll roll 2d6, and that's how much temp HP your ally's going to get. Now, if your rage ends, if that ally still has some of that temp HP, it's going to go away because it's fueled by that rage. You would have to use a new rage in order to get that going in a new way. At level 6, you get a feature called Branches of the Tree. When a creature you see starts its turn within 30 feet of you while you're raging, you can use your reaction to summon spectral branches of the world tree around it. So as soon as a DM, let's say, would go, all right, now it's my enemy's turn. Here's what I'm going to do. You, Barbarian, would say, hang on a second. I'm going to use my Branches of the Tree. You, DM, need to make a strength saving throw. And the difficulty class on that is going to be 8 plus your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus. Because you're not a spellcaster. You don't have a spell save DC. So that's how you're going to determine it. That's the number they need to meet or beat. Otherwise, you're going to teleport them to an unoccupied space you can see within 5 feet of yourself or the nearest one that you can see. After the target teleports, its speed is 0 for the rest of that turn. So if I've got a downed ally and my bad guy, I want to go hit that ally while they're down and kill him. I'm about to start my turn. You know I'm going to move there. You can interrupt me, do this. If I fail to save, I'm closer to you now, and I have no more speed. That is a really great way to get an ally out of a tough situation, or just bring an enemy closer to you so you can wail on them a little bit more. At level 10, you get Battering Roots. During your turn, your reach is 10 feet greater with any melee weapon that has the heavy or versatile property, as tendrils of the World Tree extend from you. So those weapons have a reach of 5 feet already. This is saying your reach is 10 feet greater. Not 10 feet, 10 feet greater. So a reach of 15 feet with heavy and versatile weapons, which, by the way, are the weapons that barbarians use. So your range just got a lot longer. You can keep enemies at bay, or, get yourself out of keep them out of harm's way against yourself by having a reach that far. When you hit with such a weapon on your turn, you can also push or topple them in the way that those represent themselves in weapon mastery. So push means you could push the creature 10 feet from you if it's large or smaller, and topple means you knock them prone if they fail a Constitution save. Again, that modifier is going to be 8 plus the ability modifier you used, strength, plus your proficiency bonus. If they fail, they're prone. But that's in addition to the weapon that you used, its mastery property. So if you're using something like an axe, it likely has cleave. Maybe you hit a second creature next to it. In addition, you can push or topple. That is such an awesome feature. It makes it my favorite. Although this one at level 14 is also just as good. When you activate your rage and as a bonus action while that rage is active, you could teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. There's nothing scarier to a DM than a barbarian jumping or teleporting around the battle map. But in addition, once per rage, you can increase the range of that teleport to 150 feet. That's not once per turn, that's once per rage. You can go up to 150 feet, and in doing so, you can bring with you up to 6 willing creatures that are within 10 feet of you. So if you're huddled, this is a good way to get out of a terrible situation and reposition yourselves somewhere else on the battle map. I love that. It's versatile. It allows me to use my teleporting as an attack. It allows me to use that